Hi.
Hi, Howard.
Hi, Becky.
Hi.
Hi, I thought you were going to be late. You're jammed up with all the Zoom accounts.
I
Okay.
wasn't I a little bit? No, I threw them out. They were very gracious, but unfortunately, I had asked the last question that we would have had to go another 10 minutes to answer. So I said, I will just go directly to the chair. And we'll try to figure this out because I have to bump everybody.
Yeah, that's got to be tough. Trying to.
They don't mind though. They don't mind leaving the meeting.
Don't you have another meeting right now?
What?
Don't you have another meeting with this one? We could
do it.
never mind.
That's the links. They're not multi links.
Right. Ay. Anyway.
I'm gonna go make sure Leslie knows.
Okay. We'll tell you, today is 12/13/23. Oh my God.
Will George be here tonight? Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. What about George? I'm sorry.
I'm here. Sorry.
George is here. Okay. I'm sorry. I have to hook up my earbuds and I forgot about that and it's complicated.
Take your time, Howard.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I should be okay now. Somebody say something, please.
Hello.
Hi, Howard.
Good. Okay.
Good.
So we're just, I take it? Yes, we are. Okay. I'm going to open the meeting. Present are board members April Stein and George Arvanitis, Chairman Howard Spetner, Assessors Clerk Leslie Bracebridge, and Town Administrator Becky Torres. First item on the agenda is to review and approve the minutes from the October 18th and November 8th meetings. I think we need to do those separately just because I was not at the November 8th meeting and therefore cannot vote on it. Does anybody have any questions or comments about those minutes?
No.
Okay, I have one question. Leslie,
Yes,
towards the end of the minutes, you refer to, you discussed the exemption that we voted on the last time, the means tested exemption.
yes.
And you abbreviated it as MTCB. And in the past, we've always called it MTRE. I was wondering if you, before you file those, whether you could change it back.
Yes, I remember you had said something in that, but RE is the way you want it to read.
Yeah, MTRE.
Message means tested
Real estate.
exemption.
Yeah.
Okay. Typically, we've been calling it circuit breaker.
Or circuit breaker or senior exemption.
Well, what I'm specifically talking about is the abbreviation. Okay, whenever we've called it a lot of things, but when we've abbreviated it, I think if you look back, we've always called it MTRE. That's what I'm getting at here. Is that okay? Okay.
FT.
Um,
Oh, great. Okay, so I'll move to accept the minutes of October 18th as amended.
Okay, and I second it, and I vote to approve. Okay,
Ah.
and can one of you two do the November 8th one?
Wait a minute, I think you
We
take
still
roll
have
call
to,
vote.
we have to
Right.
vote.
The whole board needs to do a roll call vote.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. I vote to approve the October 18th minutes.
Arvanitis, aye.
And Stein, aye.
Okay,
So I wanted to ask about the
Minutes.
November 8th minutes. I had a
Yes.
question. Did we come to order in that meeting?
No, I think I wrote it that way. I'm not sure you even need it.
Well, that's
I
my question,
just-
Leslie.
Yeah, we didn't come to order. There was no deliberation. But we were present. So
Right, but we were present in a select board meeting, making a presentation to the select board, but yeah, I mean, I'm fine one way or the other. I wasn't sure that we even needed.
and I didn't know that it needed to be done, but did something just to be on the safe side. But you'll see, we didn't call ourselves to order. You're correct. I said that Rita opened the combined boards meeting.
Right.
It's, yes,
The
Becky.
what I'm thinking is, I think the select board is moving to very brief minutes. And that being the case, there's not more than a sentence or two about the means tested, and that's such an important issue. And it's the first time we've done it publicly that I think that if they don't have any more substance in what they're approving, I think it'd be important to have your minutes available to the public. Even if, despite these irregularities. Did you have a full quorum?
Yes, we
Oh, yeah, we
did.
had two of us. Yes,
But we did not call ourselves to order.
And at the end, I wrote, there failed to be a quorum of assessors present at 6:15 because he didn't adjourn either.
I
It
think-
doesn't, my notes don't say a heck of a lot more, but it does describe it.
And do you have any numbers in your notes?
Mm-mm.
No, I don't. I could add in to refer to the report that David gave us. He gave a report and I could put that under documents used during the meeting.
That would be great. Just so
Yeah.
there's somewhere a fuller explanation of what happened. That would be great.
Yeah, 'cause
That's fine with me. I don't know if assessors are okay with that.
I think that makes a lot of sense because it is a whole, this is the first time the town's ever had two different tax rates. You know,
yeah, I agree.
it's a big deal.
Right,
And
I
it's-
agree. Becky made good points.
Yeah. So if
Okay,
you don't mind,
so I'm just going to add under, I'll add that column that I usually add about list of documents used at the meeting, and I'll just add list of documents used and what, I'll get the title off of David's report and put
that
that
would be great.
at the bottom, and I always put, well, I don't always, I should correct myself. I will put a copy of that report with our minutes.
Great.
Okay.
That'll do it.
Okay,
And since it's not technically minutes, then I guess we don't need to vote to approve. Or should we?
I thought Becky's point was that we should, that you
Oh,
should.
yes, yes, yes,
And
yes,
I
yes.
was gonna
With the
add the
record.
documents, the document used to them.
That's right. My brain
I'm-
is mush.
And Board of Assessors, what I wrote at the top was Board of Assessors at the hybrid select board tax classification hearing meeting.
Yeah. So I will move to accept the November 8th minutes as amended.
Second now.
okay. And just for my edification, did the select board actually go for 100%?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, Okay, fine.
Yeah, it totals $8,000, $8,200 in,
Just as is what was in the report.
yes.
Howard, but
Yeah.
you want there was a motion and a second, so now you want to do the roll call vote.
Oh, okay.
So you
May
get
I
to
have okay,
abstain.
can we
you-
have a vote on whether to accept the November 8th minutes?
Yes, Arbonitis is aye.
And Stein, aye.
Okay,
You
and Spender's not voting.
Right.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is we're to review the November 14th DOR certification of the FY '24 tax rate. How do
I
we
just-
review it?
I just put that in case David was with us and wanted to
Okay.
talk about it. He subsequently said he wouldn't be able to attend.
Okay,
I
does
don't
anybody
know.
know?
George
Okay.
probably knows more than any of us.
I don't know about that. I mean, what I noticed here was it said that this information will now be available in the Division of Local Services website. So they've accepted it and they're posting it for the public. So it's
Yeah.
the real deal.
Yes,
What date was that?
November 11th is
14th.
14th is the date of the letter.
Yeah.
And it's the recap of the tax rate approval notification.
Yeah. Tax rate recapitulation form and the levy limit worksheet.
Okay, great.
Yes. So, I mean, it doesn't specifically say that they've been accepted by the state. They just say the state has them and they're posting them. So I don't know, does the state have to do an approval?
No, it says it has been certified.
Yeah, they have to get certified before the
Okay, I'm reading
DSL,
it again.
DLS approves it.
But it said the fiscal year '24 tax rate has been certified by the Bureau of Accounts for
Oh,
Shutesbury.
yeah, the very first line. Sorry, yep,
Yeah,
I was
that's
jumping down.
okay.
Yep.
And just a question is it seems like our process with with David is incredibly seamless. Is that just a perception? Is that like this is all done in time or on time? And
aren't we
I
lucky
th-
about that?
I think it's
yes,
seamless because David makes it look seamless.
Yes.
yeah,
David is an experienced assessor. I mean, we can do much better.
Yeah.
And even so, there are some challenges and curse words.
Well, it's been a challenging switching over to Vadar. Last
right.
year was, operating in the dark and then trying to figure it out. We had problems with vision. He has conquered so many difficulties that it's.
Do you think that's because we're in a transition phase? So you're thinking next year it should go a lot smoother.
Oh yeah,
Is that correct? Okay.
I think so because the whole solar, the way it's handled through personal property has been confusing for everyone since day one.
Mhm.
And the state as well. The state hasn't been able to give us clear answers in the first 2 or 3 years. Because they kept changing how first they brought it in. The solar funds were supposed to go through new growth, and then 2 years later they said no, you should be using personal property. So they have been evolving in their direction to the towns how to account for. And that pilot, the solar pilots are a large, 100,000 is significant, and the value, a $3 million value, is a huge amount for the town. So
For our town. Yep.
significant changes that are settling out, and having David in place going into next year will be invaluable, I think.
Having him
know.
in place going into this year was invaluable.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was for sure.
Yeah,
No, like you said in your note, we should be grateful. David's
yes.
been great. So
Yes.
is this a bad time to bring up? I'm going to bring it up, and maybe now's not the time to talk about it. It says in this letter that the state's going to post the tax recap and the levy limit worksheet. They also post a lot of other things, one of which is the single family tax rate. And I had reached out to David and Leslie for April and Howard's information. And
Mhm.
because I noticed that it wasn't being posted, the Department of Local Services posts one report in particular that I always pay attention to for the Finance Committee. It hasn't been updated for us for 2024, but it's been updated for each day. There's more and more towns that are getting their data loaded from the recap. Part of it's from the recap sheet. And so I reached out to David and asked, why isn't ours there? His first reaction was because now we have a split rate, but I noticed that every town was posted at 23. And I know there's plenty of towns with split rates. So I asked him about that. And that was Friday. I think we last spoke on that via email. And I haven't heard anything, Leslie. I didn't know if you were talking to him about that and if you knew what he was doing.
He hasn't been in since then, George.
So he's not working on it till he gets in the office.
Well, I
Well,
thought
we
he,
haven't heard from him.
I thought he
Okay.
did give us an answer to your second question in the email, no? I don't have it right in front of me.
Yeah, I'm going to the emails right now. It wasn't really answering the question. Well, I noticed that, he has a contact at the DOR, Lauren, and I'm wondering if you could talk to Lauren about it and just say, I sent him the link where I look where this information is posted for all 351 towns and said, I don't understand why it's not there. And I was kind of hoping he'd follow up with the DOR to see what the issue was.
I'm not sure when he'll be here next. Do you know, Becky?
I don't.
Okay, I'm going to write a note, George, and put it right in my questions for David right this minute.
Thank you, Leslie. And I don't mind following up with him. I'm happy to ask him, a follow-up question. Have you had a chance to look into this? I'd be happy to do that. I just didn't. I guess if he hasn't been in the office, he probably hasn't been working on it.
Right.
Oh, I'm sure he's working, but maybe not at helping.
No, on this particular thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really useful information. In fact, the Finance Committee asked me to present the information to him. I've been keeping track of it for years, and other people have. I know Eric used to walk it. Eric Stocker used to look at this information, and I know there's other people in town who've quoted from this.
Absolutely.
And so, so I wanted to show it to the Finance Committee, but I was really, want to get the 24 data in there.
Yep. I'm really grateful to you too, George, that you know what questions to ask because
Been doing this for a while, huh?
people like you.
Yeah.
We
Thank you.
need a lot of people who understand what's going on here.
There's a lot of people who understand. Becky understands. April understands.
But it's so complicated.
It
there's
is.
so many pieces to all of this. And
It
so,
gets confusing quick.
yeah, we need a
And then there's just the technical computer details of making it work the way it's supposed to.
Well, with the
Right.
assessor's office, there's so many details.
Mhm.
It's a lot of data.
It is.
and there's a lot riding on it.
Yep.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
can't
because
get
when
it
you
wrong.
get it, yeah, because when you do, people let you know.
Yep.
So
But
I
Even
think
when
you
you
guys
don't, they let you know.
have kind of hijacked the meeting from Howard.
I'm sorry.
Maybe
Okay,
you
so
want-
the next item, that's my cue, and the next item on the agenda is to review and approve the October and November motor vehicle accountant reports. Has everybody had a chance to look at them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and does anybody have any questions or comments about them?
No.
Okay,
it's-
I'm going
it's
to make a
pretty
motion that we accept these accountants' reports.
I'll second that.
simple.
Okay,
And-
and I'm going to
Beat ya.
call for a vote.
Arbonitis, aye.
Spetner, aye.
Arbonitis,
Spetner,
aye.
Sorry.
Stein.
Okay, Stein, today.
Stein, aye.
Yeah, you know what it is,
Okay.
Howard? We usually on the Finance Committee and the Personnel Board, we go alphabetically. So I always am the first one, so I always jump the gun.
You
Sorry.
can be first. That's fine. That's great.
You never got to sit
We
in
just-
the back.
That's what
Okay,
I'm
this-
used to, that's all.
Okay, the accountant reports have passed unanimously. Number 5, review and approve the 6th motor vehicle commitment. Does anybody have any questions about it?
No.
It's unintelligible. How could we? Okay, so I make a motion that we accept the commitment.
I'll second.
Second, yeah.
But
Okay,
if
I
you want to
call
come
for-
in, you can read every single line of it in the book in our office.
Leslie, I am so grateful for the opportunity. Okay, George, I call for a
Arvanitis, aye.
vote. Okay, Spetner, aye.
Stein, aye.
Okay. The motion passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is to review and approve the FY23 personal property and 19 through 22 motor vehicle 8 of 58 requests. I think I'm saying that right. Yeah, 8 of 58
Yeah.
requests, which are from Ellen asking us to void these obligations because they're uncollectible.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any comments or questions about them?
No.
No.
Okay.
I would just say, as Ellen always says, that even though you're approving to make them uncollectible, to approve the request for them to be uncollectible, they stay there. And if they ever do find the people, they do collect still.
Right.
So you're not denying the town the funds.
So what actually, by virtue of our voting on this, what actually changes if they're not actually gone?
She can clear out her books for these past years and bring everything to zero, but it doesn't mean
Okay.
that they're not in the deputy collector's office records
Oh,
waiting in
okay.
case somebody comes along and says, I have much money and I want to pay my taxes.
Yeah, or if they move into town or, yeah, all kinds of things.
Move back to Massachusetts and have to.
Yeah,
You know.
there you go.
That's
Oh,
right.
just
If
in
we found-
Massachusetts.
If we found out about it, could we enforce collection still? You know what I mean? Like if they suddenly
Yes, if
showed
we,
up in town.
yes, it's not just people who've moved out of state, but that's one that was explained to me once, was
Mhm.
that if they move out of state, it's virtually impossible to find them. But sometimes they move back and they want to re-register their vehicle and they have to pay up in order to do it.
Right.
Okay.
When they're deceased, they typically don't come back, but
But you
And
never
their
know.
estate does, right, and the
Yeah.
estate vanishes after a year and that's the end of it. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, right, but we haven't, okay, so
Howard, I have something very important.
please, Becky.
George, I just went and Shutesbury's average single family home is now there.
Really? It wasn't there an hour ago. Wow,
It's
that's great.
now- Now, I might be
That's-
looking at the wrong thing, but it's 6,000. Yeah, no, I think it was just a
hey,
year of batching. $6,090 is the average tax bill.
Wait a second, I think that's last
yeah.
year's.
oh, ah,
Last year's was 6,900.
So I don't see anybody for 2024 though.
Oh, yeah, there's other towns for 2024.
Not where I'm looking. They only give 2023 and under the mass average single family tax category, they do not list FY 2024.
Oh, you're at a different place because I see Amherst 2024, their tax rate is 94. Their average single family is 9,416. I'll
where-
send you the link to where I have. You can send me the link to where you have.
yeah, could you send,
And I'm
yeah,
where I always go.
I'm sorry?
I just said I'm where I usually go for this information. And
Yeah,
usually, I think it's probably in January, they'll post in January for 24.
Oh, well, I've got one that I'm looking at, and it's got lots of towns for 2024. Let me look into it and I will send you some information. And you said you wanted, BCC included, April?
why don't
Yeah,
you just
I'm
reply
curious.
all?
Okay,
Yeah.
you got it.
yeah, I think that
You
makes
got it.
sense.
Will do.
Sorry for the interruption, Howard. I thought
Okay,
we had a
so-
solution.
Poor Howard, we're tough.
Oh,
Yeah.
Were
okay.
you in
Uh,
Gateway, Becky? Because I think,
no,
oh, you
no,
were.
I was in Division of Local Services on DOR. on the
I
Mount
think
website.
I was
Okay.
looking at, when George brought it up, I was looking in Gateway and I agree with him that it wasn't there. But you had to look kind of
Well,
town by town.
But Becky's saying she's not seeing other towns there, and what the
the
report I'm
January.
looking,
Yeah,
the report I'm looking at has other towns like Pelham, Leverett, and Amherst.
correct.
Okay,
All right,
so
I'll look
I'm going to
into it.
move.
I think David needs to look into it, like you said, George.
I've got a little slip in his box.
I'm gonna check, though. I'm gonna cruise around the site because I'm using the link, and maybe the link I'm using sends me somewhere different.
I'm sorry,
So-
come back. Somebody
Thank you,
explain to
Howard.
me
He's
why
trying to-
this matters. Why does this matter?
It doesn't matter for this meeting.
Okay, fine, good to know. Sorry, okay, my tablet keeps going blank on me. So I move that we accept these, the 8 of 58 requests, all of them.
I second.
And I'll,
Okay, I call for a vote.
Too long. Renee, aye.
Okay, Spetner, aye.
and Stein, aye.
Okay, the motion passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is to review and approve the FY23 Board of Assessors Annual Report. Thank you, Leslie, for doing that for us, by the way.
You're welcome.
Does anybody have any questions or comments on that? Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks
Uh,
good, Leslie.
You might as well thank Ken Holmberg because I just used the same form over and over again. Oh, and we can thank Becky for help with personnel matters.
So, all right, so this table in the middle, that's all to fiscal 23 tax rate information.
23. This is the FY23 annual report.
Yeah, no, I understand. I'm just. Okay,
The
yep.
table comes straight from the tax rate recap sheet. All
What's
the
interesting,
figures.
yeah, what's interesting to me is the levy percentage for residential was higher last year than it is this year. Okay, all right, it is what it is.
That's because the industrial solar should have increased.
And that's personal property now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it basically, got shifted down. Okay, got it.
And the solar is staying as personal property for FY24 and forever and ever after, is that true? Okay.
No telling.
No,
I mean,
but
It's up to DOR, and depends if they make another change, but for now.
but for
there's no-
FY24 at least.
Yeah.
For now,
it's-
FY24, it's personal property. Okay.
And you're talking about the commercial,
Right.
not the solar on people's homes. Okay.
That I think is not taxable. Am I wrong?
That's correct. It's
That's
not
okay.
tax-
Well,
It doesn't show up, it's not assessed.
And
Right.
so the increase, the money we're gonna get for all the new poles in town, that is in commercial property,
personal, I believe.
or is that personal as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's utility property.
Okay,
And comparing 23 to 24 side by side, I think the only thing that went up in 24 was the personal. So it has to be like Becky says,
'cause
do
that's
with the solar.
yeah, right.
The
and
others are
there's
pretty much the same.
concern it was underestimated in 23, so.
Just one other
Yeah.
question about that. Leslie, when we're assessing the value of a home, when David and you and whoever else is involved in that, do you adjust the value of a home if a family has put panels on their home, solar panels?
No, my understanding is that they're exempt from taxation.
Yeah.
Becky's
And they're
nodding.
not counted in the assessment and the valuation of a house. Oh, that's great news for me.
We're happy for you. We're
all
happy
Okay.
you're doing the right thing. And even when you went to that nice metal roof, it didn't matter to us.
Oh, you knew about that. Geez, I gotta watch out.
Yeah, you live right on a public corner there.
Yeah, that's true.
there's
It
no
is a nice
secrets.
roof. Yeah.
We have no secret.
So far, it's holding up.
Howard's waving his
Okay.
hands. Yeah.
No,
Fine.
don't worry about it. It's, I can't remember, did we accept the annual report yet? Did we vote on that?
No. So I'll
Okay.
move to accept the annual report.
Okay, I second that motion. I'm calling for a roll call vote here.
Arvanitis, aye.
Yeah.
Shatner, aye.
And Stein, aye.
Okay. Motion passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is to review and approve the Chapter 61, 61A, and 61B applications for FY25. Leslie, just to summarize what's going on here a little bit, from your email, I'm counting 16 applications that we need to address tonight. 761s, 461As, 561Bs.
61s, yes.
Okay.
And also in 461As, and I'm only up to 4 on 6. Oh, 5 on 61B, yeah.
I'm working off of the email that she sent us. That's where this is coming from.
Yeah,
And
and that
okay, and as I understand it, these are all renewals, right?
no, there are in the chapter 61 forestry, let's start with that one. One is changing from
Okay.
recreation to forest, so I don't know if you want to call that new. One's a
Yeah,
renewal, two renewals, 3 renewals. One is from 2 are going from recreation to forestry, so that's 2. They're renewals, but they're changing categories. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 brand new one, and 5 straight renewals, 1 brand new one. So maybe it's 8. I have them all here. I'm going to need your signatures, Howard, for well, I can list each one of the new ones. The first thing I was going to ask was if with Davidson, I get the first round on them. I ask questions of David and he answers those. And typically, there's only one way. You can't deny somebody if they've got all their land and materials in order. If you want me to break it down each individual one, I'm more than glad to. But in terms of the way I did it, I have a yellow sticky for each category and the address for each one. So like 338 Locks Pond Road in Forestry, that's going from recreation to forestry. It's lot D77.
Is that considered a new application?
Well, I am, because he had more acreage he left acreage. He's adding more acreage into forestry than they had in recreation. So that's going to be a lien release on the old lien because it had fewer acres, and a new lien against the new acreage in the new forestry category. That's D77, 338 Locks Pond Road. The second one is E2, E25, D31. It's a 10-year renewal. That's property on Locks Pond, and it spans Locks Pond and Wendell Road. New 10-year renewal for ZR3. that's not new. It's just no changes, just a renewal. D16 248 Locks Pond Road is just a 10-year renewal. 138 Locks Pond Road again is transitioning from recreation to forestry. That's the same acreage, so there will not be a need for it to release a lien and create a new lien. M as in Michael, 18 on Cooleyville Road is a straight 10-year renewal. 421 West Pelham Road is a new application for forestry, 29.76 acres, T15. And U10 on Sand Hill Road is it's only 6.65 acres, so it's actually 61B, but it is all forestry. It's owned by Coles, if that helps you to understand it. So it's all timber, which is an allowable use for agriculture, but because it's such a small lot, it doesn't qualify for the 10-acre minimum forestry. So they've got a new 10-year forestry plan, but it's actually an annual for a 61A renewal.
So that's in
Everyone is so different. Go ahead.
So that's in 61A now, right?
It is, and it's staying
And
there.
okay, so it's basically it's a renewal. It's just
But-
that the only difference is that the crop is timber. That's the only thing that's odd about this.
And it's under 10 acres.
It has to have a
Right.
10-year recertification of its forest planning because it's timber is the product. It has to have a forest management plan, even though it's
Okay,
in
okay.
agriculture. Everyone is, you look at them and you just have to really think about them for a while. But
Yeah. What is the advantage for them to do that?
well, they have 6.6 acres that would otherwise be classified as straight residential.
Oh, got it.
So
And they're allowed to do that because why? It's
timber is considered an agricultural product. And the lot is only 6.65 acres, so they cannot just do straight forestry. They have to do agriculture.
okay.
And agriculture has to be renewed every year, except it also has to renew their forest management plan every 10 years. So you can call it
Okay.
whatever you want. That's what, when Howard started asking numbers, my brain kind of easier to go through and say each one if you want that detail than for me to, I tried my best to give you a summary in numbers, but
So chapter
Okay.
60,
Sorry.
if we could just cover chapter 61, just at a high level, it's basically they're all applying for chapter 61 to lower their property taxes. Is that
that's
correct?
correct.
And do they ever have to pay back those exemptions, those decreases? They do after 10 years, and then they have to renew and it starts the clock over again?
It sort of starts the clock over again, but not really. There's an excellent booklet available to the public. Wait a minute. It's masswoods.com. It was written by a group of people, UMass and DCR people together. It's in lay terms
I would
for,
love to have that. Yeah, I would love to have a copy of that.
I will send it to you all. I use it like the Bible. The only thing that's out of date now is the renewal date, which got moved from October 1st. Forever it's been October 1st. And starting this year and going forward, it was moved to December 1st. the
don't mind me-
annual application or the 10-year renewal application. I'll send it to you all. Let me write that down.
Thank you,
And-
Leslie. I appreciate that.
That explains too, that there's rollbacks, there's notice of intent if the use is changed and not to a family member. Like if it's in chapter and a family member wants to build a house, that's okay. But if it's sold and another property owner changes its use within a year, then there are rollback taxes. There's also another tax, I think the one that you're talking about, George, if it sells before the first 10 years is up, and I can't remember the name of that.
Oh, that's okay. It sounds like you got the answers for us, so that's great.
I just used the book. I go by the book and ask David when I don't.
Yeah, I definitely want to take a look at that and familiarize myself, because I know this is a pretty big issue for a town like ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in
The,
so in the list, the applications that you just went through with us one by one, are any of those like brand new, absolutely new
yes,
applications?
there
that-
is one
Well,
brand new,
Okay.
absolutely brand new, and that was 421 West Pelham Road, parcel T15.
Okay, and that is, okay, because that was not in the email that you sent us, the brand new application.
I should have
That-
printed
that's-
the email out. I don't have it in front of me. I'm
okay,
sorry.
Okay. So the question is, has David reviewed that, and is David recommending that we approve that? Are we voting on it tonight?
Uh, I don't remember with certainty if he actually has reviewed that specific one. I guess what I'm going to have to do is have him put a little check mark on it.
Mm.
Are we voting on any? Are we voting on any of them?
Because
tonight?
typically, and going back to Ken Holmberg and through Kevin, it's a lot of paperwork that gets dumped on the clerk, and the clerk goes to the administrative assessor if she thinks something is out of place and lets the administrative assessor look at it and know. I can go to my stack and look. Maybe if I look at it, I'll be able to see, did David see this or not? I don't think there was, I think it was straightforward and there was no questions about it. But if you would like David to look at every single application,
Well, I mean, I guess part of this is my fault, but I'm not comfortable voting on things that I just know nothing about. Okay?
right, which is
And in
why
this
I
case,
invited.
and and it's why I'm kind of relying, if somebody were to say to me, David has seen this, David thinks it's great, it's fine, I would approve it in a
Mhm.
heartbeat. Okay. In the
Yeah.
absence of that, I don't know what to do. Okay.
Right, well, and before we went to Zoom meetings, we would be sitting around and the assessors would look at each application. If they had questions, they'd bring it up. So it's a new way to manage it.
Mm.
It's
To
also a new
ask,
thing to manage.
to ask David to review each application while he's trying to set a tax rate is not a good use of his time. I don't believe.
Well, the
His time
renewals, I don't
is
care
limited.
about.
Yes,
I don't care about the renewals. I just think,
Right.
but that's why I'm asked. I mean, if they're just straight, like exactly the same as we did 10 years ago, fine, I don't care. But, for something that's brand new, I kind of want to know.
okay. I'll hold it
So-
aside and
Yeah.
have him look at it. I appreciate
thank you.
your concern.
Okay, good. Um, Okay, the other ones, okay, so that we've got four straight renewals that we can just vote on tonight, I think. Okay, we've got,
I know that I spoke with David about all the ones that transitioned from, the two that transitioned from recreation to forestry. So let's take a look at that. Okay, I know, okay, one, I know I had him look at that one. A straight renewal you don't care about, straight renewals you don't care about. Recreation to forestry, I know I had him look at that one. That's renewal, this is brand new. I suspect I had him look at it, but honestly, Howard, I did not have him check off. Yes, I saw that, yes. And then yeah, I only see one of these. I see 6 that you could approve and one that I would have to have David look at.
okay, and also the Coles, the one that's in the one that's in 61A, but is actually forestry.
Yes. What
We can
about it?
approve that tonight. I assume
I
we
would-
can approve that tonight because it's just, again, it's the same as before.
That's
Or
one of the
nothing.
6. That's one of the 6.
Oh, that's one of the
that
6. Okay,
category.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
So-
and,
could-
I'm sorry,
sorry,
Howard. Leslie, you pointed out 6 out of 16?
Well, I'm assuming Howard is just talking about straight chapter 61 right now.
Yeah,
And
that's
then there's
correct. I haven't gone to the
61BA
other
and
two.
61B. Yeah.
So 6 out
That's
of
right. We
the 7.
haven't
you can-
gone there yet.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and, so just to, okay, so I'm sorry, we've got I'm going to count a little bit, okay? We've got the one that is Coles, that is agriculture, but it's forestry land.
That's
Sorry,
correct.
agriculture, but
Agriculture with
timber.
timber for its crop, so it
Okay.
needed a new
Okay,
forest management certificate, which
Okay.
requires your signature.
okay. We have 2 that are moving to forestry from recreation.
Correct. And one of
Again,
those
very-
is straightforward, and one of them it's changing acreage, so there's a lien release and a new lien to be
Okay.
placed on it.
Okay. And then there are 3 or 4 straight renewals. That's my question.
1, 2, 3, 4 straight renewals.
Okay, so the new one is extra. The new one is extra. There are 7. There are 7 plus the one new one. 4
Okay.
plus 2 plus 1. Okay.
Okay, yep.
Okay. Okay. So, do you want to vote on those 7 now? Do you want that?
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
comfortable with it.
Yeah. One with Leslie.
Well, and I
wants.
wonder if
Yeah.
in the one that you want to hold out, we could give a provisional approval for that.
There's no such thing. There's no such thing.
There's no
Yes,
such
there
thing.
is. You could
Is there?
do.
Oh, we can?
You can vote to approve contingent upon a specific condition, like having David review it affirmatively.
Okay, fine. I can do that. Sure.
With that,
Okay,
That'll
I'm
be a
fine with
separate
it.
motion.
yeah.
Uh,
So we've got a motion on the floor for the
Okay.
For the
7.
7. I don't know if we've
Okay.
actually made a motion for the 7.
No, I don't think we
Okay,
have.
so Leslie, we're going to do a motion on these 7 forestry renewals and then another motion on the new one, a provisional one.
perfect.
Okay, fine. I move that we accept the 7 chapter 61 forestry renewals.
I'll second it.
Okay, call for a roll call vote.
Arvanitis, aye.
Spender, aye.
And Stein, aye.
Okay. Okay, make a motion that we make a provisional approval of the new chapter 61 application.
Contingent upon,
Contingent on David's approval,
Okay.
contingent on David's subsequent approval.
Okay.
So you don't want to say a provisional approval. You want to say that you approve contingent on David's signature.
Approval.
Okay, okay, got
Review.
it. Okay, I make a motion that we approve the new Chapter 61 application contingent on David's subsequent approval.
Perfect.
I'll second that.
Okay,
Arvanitis, aye.
okay, Spetner, aye.
And Stein, aye.
Okay. Now we're moving on to the Chapter 61A agricultural annual renewals. Okay, so we have there are 4 that are ready for approval tonight and 3 that have questions. Leslie, there are questions for David on those 3?
There are 3 that are absolutely straight renewals that are ready. Then
Okay.
there's the Coles one, which I don't know if you want to count it here or there. I think you already counted it, but wherever you're going to count it, the 6.65 acre timber lot
Right.
that's getting a new forest management certificate that requires the chairman's signature, and will be in Chapter 61A, which requires the board's, well, technically you're approving the chairman to sign it too. So we'll count it twice. We'll count it in each category.
Okay.
And
it
then
says
there are 3 people. This is Mother Hen always chasing people down who have not turned them in. They're classic people who don't turn them in. It's a heck of a lot of work for the assessors to hold a meeting, pull them out of Chapter 61, cancel their lien, and then have them turn around. Oh, I forgot I want to do it. And
Right.
we really have until
Mhm.
February 1st, because every year is considered to be a reval year for the purpose of this question. It's come before a case law.
Mhm.
So they have until February 1st. I need to chase them down, remind them, re-remind them and re-remind them and beg them, please save us the paperwork, because otherwise you're going to pay full taxes and we got to go through a lot of paperwork. Chapter 61 is a headache for assessors.
Yeah.
But
okay. So those 3, they are not complete tonight, right? That's true?
they are not complete. Nope.
Okay, and therefore we cannot vote on them tonight, right?
No, we're not going to.
Accountable. Okay, fine.
Well, you
Okay.
can do it provisionally that they turn them in and David approves them, which if
That's
they turn them in, they will.
Becky, you want us to do
Will.
that or not?
Well, you still have are you meeting in January?
Oh, yeah, we're going to have to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
So
I
then-
prefer,
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
I prefer they got resolved.
yes.
Okay.
You're ahead
So,
of You're good.
okay, so the 4 that are ready to renew tonight, the 4 that are ready, that are complete, I move that we accept those 4 Chapter 61A applications.
I'll second.
Okay, a call for a roll call vote.
Arvanitis, aye.
Spetner, aye.
And Stein, aye.
Okay. The next thing, we have 5 Chapter 61B recreation renewals. Leslie, these are all complete, is that true?
Okay. There's a lot more than 4. Leslie got behind in trying to get them all done.
Are you
I'm
talking
seeing
about
5.
61B?
61B.
61B we're on now. That's recreation. You know what? There's 5 that have been approved, either for straight renewals or David has spoken with them. 1, 2, The first one, I had 1, 2, 3, 4 that I had done. There was another one that the applicant came in to talk with David specifically if he could move it out of recreation into agriculture. And you have to be able to show income of $500 or more for 2 years before you get the Chapter 61A classification. So he's remaining in recreation. But I had waited until the meeting, so he had been in the agriculture list. Let me go back and check and see if I took him out. I did. Yeah, I didn't put him into it. I had not put him into recreation, so I just added him at the top. So yeah, Q75, Q74, and Q20, that's a new owner, but she's already filed her lien. Her attorney was the first, and in the 7 years I've been in this office, the attorney did it at the time of the sale. And I checked with David to make sure it was right. And actually, we decided we liked the wording on her lien that the attorney put in on file. So she's done. But you still need to approve it. Then renewal. This one is going from transitioning from 61 to 61B. A new certification is needed to be filed because the acreage, everything's changed since this land was done. So it needs a new lien. And did I go through this with David or not? I'm not certain, Howard. Why don't you do 4? I'll make sure that David sees this one. And
George, I'm making you co-host just because my internet is unstable.
Yeah, I'm getting the same note. That message just
Here.
popped up on mine too.
Huh.
let's
I'm
go
not
with
seeing
4
it.
renewals, Howard, and one that provisional with David's approval for 61B.
Okay. I move that we accept the 4 completed applications for Chapter 61B.
I'll second that.
Okay, call for a roll call vote.
Arvanitis, aye.
And Stein.
Spentner, aye.
Oops.
Okay. I call for a vote to approve the 5th Chapter 61B application contingent upon David's subsequent approval of it.
I'll second
I'll
that.
second.
Oh,
Okay. Call for a roll call vote.
Arvanitis, aye.
Spentner, aye.
And Stein, aye.
Okay. Sorry, I need a second. Leslie, I have a question. There's a line in this email. I'm continuing to work through the Chapter 61B applications. I take it there are more?
Oh,
in the
there's a
pipeline?
lot more Chapter 61B. There's those 3 I have to track down in 61A. I'm pretty certain I'm going to find some laggers in 61B.
And
The
Okay.
forestry, I believe we're all set. And the reason for that is because that starts with the Department of DCR, Conservation and Recreation, back in January of the year. They contact the property owners and say, you have to do this or else you're not going to be able to renew. That one is just much different, the 10-year one.
is 61B annual?
Yes.
Okay, 61B is annual. Just out of curiosity, like with all of them, 61, 61A, 61B, roughly, how many properties in town are in there?
About 30 in B, about 7 in agriculture. And
Okay.
we have a whole drawer of coals in the file drawer. And
Okay.
then because they're broken down into different lots. And
Okay, sure.
then there's about, I would say at least 20 other than coals. other property owners than Coles in 61 also.
Where
That,
does all
that
the
may be a
money-
high.
Where does all the money come from to pay for this?
It just is, it's, the tax rate is tallied differently because of it.
It
Is that
lowers,
correct, George?
Mhm,
it lowers the
lot of
revenue that we're
revenue.
collecting. Yeah,
right.
Like, what we have to make up for, I mean.
well, that's what
Becky,
Leslie's
is that true?
saying.
Like,
So
we
what
have to raise
happens
the tax
is
rate to cover this?
every time one of these drops out, then the amount that we need to raise from the properties that are still taxable, they have to, their taxes go up.
So we
Right,
get
that-
more
So
revenue.
Right,
if we lose $5,000 in revenue from somebody that converts property to 61 and they're getting $5,000 break on their taxes, then when we calculate how much to raise from taxes, that $5,000 has to get picked up by all the other properties in town.
Mhm.
So it gets spread across everybody else who's paying taxes.
Okay, we don't get it back from the state, in other words. We're paying, it's us, it's on us to
Yeah.
pay for this.
Oh, yeah, it's totally internal. It's how on the.
Is it totally internal? I'm not quite certain. There might be
There
something from
is, yeah,
state,
I
but
think there is.
that might just be theirs too.
But it's also a way of encouraging, more open space or undeveloped space. I mean, that's another benefit to the community.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
it's not
recreation.
clear how much of this would actually get developed otherwise, but yeah, okay,
Yeah, that's a good point.
okay, I'm just kind of get a feel for what's going on here, that's all. Okay.
I may have
This is
spoken
educational.
out. I don't know that the state gives us any reimbursement for it. I think I'm incorrect there. I think I'm just thinking of the state lands that we get reimbursed for.
Right, the payment in lieu of taxes.
Right.
Okay, so, okay, so I guess that's all of the items on the agenda that were enumerated, and I'm guessing there's nothing else that we need to consider that's come up in the last 48 hours?
Not here.
Okay. So, we need to schedule a new meeting. We need to schedule our next meeting.
In January,
Leslie, when do we have to have that meeting by? You said January?
We need a meeting in January, yeah, to continue with the chapters. There's, I can always go forward and do things. Form of lists need to go out. Exemption applications will start coming in and need approval. Technically, you take one vote each year that people need to report their property. Form 1, it's called. But we'll need a meeting. I was just looking to see if I have the January calendar in front of me, and I do. I'm lucky. I think you decided at the last meeting that Wednesdays are the best.
mhm.
Yeah. Would that be like the
The 10th or the
17th?
17th.
As long as nobody minds that Martin Luther King is on Monday. Does that impact anybody else's meeting, Becky, do you think?
I think I think that should be fine.
Let's go for the 17th, and then if it snows, we'll go for the 20. Oh, I guess snow doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter. We'll be stuck in our houses anyways.
If there's no
The power goes
how-
out.
how
Yeah,
about- yeah, the power goes out.
That's
Oh,
the
don't
only
talk
thing
like that.
Well, I mean,
Then we can
that's
just
the
go
only-
to, we can just go to town hall and do it. Okay.
Exactly.
We'll be in town hall
January-
anyway. Okay.
Wednesday, January 17th at 6:30.
Perfect.
Okay.
Wow. 24. Oof. It's an important day coming up at the end of the year. It's 12/31/23 because it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
thank
Throw out the
you.
numbers.
Wow, that's very cool.
Celebrate. It is pretty cool.
Okay.
Wait a
All
minute,
right.
that's coming up when?
12/31. 23.
Yeah, 12/31,
12,
1, 2, 3, 1,
31.
2, 3.
wait a second.
yes, you're right.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Just don't put your lines in between, use little dots instead of slashes and it'll
Yeah.
work better.
That's just trivia. Well, have a lovely evening, nice holidays, and
We'll meet
Okay.
again.
And I move
let's
that, I move
party.
that we adjourn. I move that we adjourn.
Take care, everybody.
7:38 p.m.
Happy
Okay.
holidays.
Okay.
Thank
Happy
you all.
holidays, everybody.
All
Always
right.
Good
feel
night.
welcome to come in
Bye
and look
night.
at any paper that you would like to.
Okay.
Well, thank you for sending that document too, about the
We
chapter
will.
61.
Thank you very much.
And you sending the link to us for where you're getting your lack of average rates.
Yeah, by the way, I just went to that website and it shows, I went through a different way than I normally go, and it shows 2012 and 2022 and 2023 as options, but no 2024. Is that what you saw, Becky?
Options? I don't follow it.
They show the map of the state.
Oh, yeah,
and they
yeah,
got-
that's what I was looking at.
And below it, it said pick 2022 or 2022 or 2023.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I picked 2023, but when you drop down on the year options, 24 is an option.
I didn't see 24 as an option.
Yeah, if
I'll
you
go
drop
back.
down, if you drop
did it
down,
work? What happened when you?
it worked, except that Shutesbury's is blank. Amherst is there and other towns are there, but Shutesbury has no data. It hasn't been loaded.
Yeah, if David is there, I'll ask him what's going on, because I've been asking. Yeah, I'll ask him.
Yeah,
We'll
okay,
get-
he's got a connection at DOR, so I'm hoping that, Lauren, I forget her last name, hopefully, it was mentioned in Leslie's letter, email. So hopefully, she'll be able to give him a reason why,
Yeah, because
hopefully we
I
can
know
get it
the
loaded.
finance committee kind of I count on having that info too. So
Good.
I'll ask him about it too.
Okay,
All right,
see you all
thanks.
later. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.